You're listening to Cornerstone Kids, a parenting podcast, a series about practical ways you can become the primary disciple maker of your home. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I am Pastor Jessica.
I'm Pastor John Michael.
And we're a couple of children's pastors here at Cornerstone, Nashville. And it's just been a few months where we've been doing this parenting podcast. And so far it's gone well. I think we've learned things along with hopefully some of our audience as we dive into parenting in different stages, but also bringing in God's word and just a biblical perspective for parents. And today we're talking about the holidays. Obviously, it's December, and we are talking about maybe resetting. We've been doing homework and routine and all of this stuff, and we get a little bit of a break with Thanksgiving, having Thanksgiving. We had that, little break, but then December brings a winter break. And so, we get a little bit of time off from
Think
the
about all the
regular
parents
stuff.
that are like, no, school's out. Oh no, my kids are
What
going
is
to be
happening?
home all
That
3
is
weeks.
true. That's a
Sorry.
big deal. I'm able to, be at home with them, which is really great. But it is a little bit of a struggle. But at least for the kids, there is
Great.
little bit of a reset button for them where they can feel a little bit of rest, a little bit of relaxing, and you don't have to do homework at night and just all of the normal things. Hopefully sports kind of,
It's fun.
Break a little bit too. But just talking a little bit about holidays and resetting. You're using that break to reset and how you do that with your kids.
My kids are 3 and not even 1 yet. But one thing we like to do, and as a church, we try to make this very intentional as well, is try to slow things down during the holidays.
Yeah.
School is very busy. Sports are very busy. So for that 2-week block outside of summer, hopefully the holiday season is something where it's more family focused, maybe go on a trip, maybe you're going to see people out of town, but it is more like, hey, we're not going to worry about all the we're not going to worry about all the other arenas. We're going to focus on our family as much as we can, because some of that can get lost in the shuffle in the fall and the spring when you're going. I don't count doing homework as spending time as a family. Watching your kid play sports,
it is intentional,
kind of,
but
it's
not family time.
You want to have fun. You want to create memories. You want your children to be able to look back on Christmas 2024 and be able to pick out fun things you did. Not necessarily because they got like a stupid expensive gift, but man, we hung out. We were all in our Christmas jams. We watched a Christmas movie. We went on a fun trip and made fun, memorable moments. Right. So I do agree that, yes, it should be a time to slow down, very intentional, family focused. And I think we'll discuss a few things we like to do.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe my kids are still growing up. They haven't really done homework.
Yeah.
But we are still on the go with church stuff. My daughter's in gymnastics now. Yeah. So hopefully that will be on pause. So that's an extra night a week where we're not in the car running somewhere.
Doing something. Yeah. The next podcast, we're going to talk a little bit more about holiday things that we do, like those little celebration moments or what you do. So that'll be fun because, we do some really fun stuff, I think, personally, that we've been, doing for a while. But taking this break, I think that's the thing, is understanding that even though you're still working maybe, or but the fact that the kids are outside of their normal routine, use that as a little bit of a reset. Use that as hey, let's do something different. Let's spend more family time together because raise your hand if you have let the last 3 or 4 weeks get away from you because it's getting near the end. We're tired. We've been in this semester. We've had lots more tests. We've kind of fallen short. This morning, I didn't make my kids' lunches last night. I had to make them this morning because we got home from church late. My husband helped, and he made the sandwiches and put them in the refrigerator. But this morning, I was like, oh my word, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of that stress, right before getting into that holiday from just the routine, and it's just becoming I need that break. I need that intentional thought of I'm going to use these few weeks to reset, relook at those routines or those goals that you set for yourself and relook at those and go, oh, I need to be doing this. Yes, we need to get back into the habit. again, we've said this before, you haven't failed because you didn't do something for 2 weeks or because you missed a Bible study last month, whatever it is. You didn't fail. Just be intentional about restarting it and just making that choice to do that. And I would say the whole point of this podcast is to remind parents and to remind grandparents or whoever you are as a caretaker for children to use the time that you have off from that normal routine to reset.
Yeah, I think
your priorities.
I mean, I think it'd be good, like when kids are out of school, homework is on pause. Hopefully, sports are on pause. I mean, even for church, like we have a couple, I think, 2 Wednesdays in December because it's Christmas Day and New Year's Day, where we don't have Wednesday night church. Right. So hopefully, calendars are more relaxed, so you can find time, whether it's around the dinner table or in the morning, a Christmas morning devotional. Maybe you read the story of Jesus being born as a family. Yeah. But I think it is, over the next couple weeks, really finding time to be intentional with devotional moments. Doesn't have to be super lengthy, but hey, it's like, oh man, we haven't done some intentional questions at dinner time. Maybe this Tuesday and Thursday we'll do that. And then I also think, and again, I mean, when the holidays are happening, it's almost impossible to think about the following year, but 2026 is kind of close. So maybe it is kind of a time to recalibrate and look at the calendar and be like, wow, we did a lot of sports this fall. Maybe we take one off the table because we were just going. We were exhausted. I don't want our spring to look like our fall. And maybe throw in some devotional moments, or like you just said, maybe I wasn't as consistent as I should. I'm going to chart out in January. Okay, we're going to be intentional, non-negotiable. We're going to make Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're having dinner around the table just so we can spend time as a family. We're not eating in the car. We're not going to be sitting in front of the TV eating. We're going to sit together around the dinner table as a family. And I'm guilty of doing that stuff too, of Chick-fil-A, throwing chicken nuggets in the back seat.
Here you go.
Because we're going somewhere. We're going to church. We're going to gymnastics. We're going shopping, whatever it is. But kind of thinking ahead, as parents, I mean, success is found in planning. So looking at your 2026 spring, seeing, well, hey, what can we carry over as far as sports? You don't have to get rid of them all. Like, I want my daughter to play soccer in the spring. So for me, all right, we do gymnastics on Thursdays. If she's going to do soccer, maybe we take a break from gymnastics for a little bit. Or maybe we don't do soccer because I'm pushing that on her and she doesn't want to do it. But you know what I mean? Just kind of recalibrate. And I mean, if it was a busy fall and you're stressed and you're like, wow, I'm so happy we're on break, maybe that's telling you something where you don't need to throw it all back on
look at
in the spring.
The whole, everything, that you did before, what's the reason for that inconsistency? So what's the main reason why you weren't able to follow through with certain things? Was it because you were overtired? Kind of walk yourself backwards and go, I was tired, but we were tired on this day because of this, because we did this every week. So looking at it that way can really kind of open your point of view to go, oh, okay, we need to rearrange this. We need to take these things out. And that's good because planning a year ahead, I know that seems cumbersome, but it's not really planning. You're not planning every day. You're just setting goals for yourself and going, let's do this. What's important? What's the top to the bottom? And what can we move around to make sure that I am consistent? And it'll help you succeed as a parent.
A quick personal story, and I was a little older at this time, but there was a point, I was very involved in sports growing up, but I was doing karate, baseball, and soccer all in the spring. I think I was like 4th or 5th grade, so I was a little older. It's not like I'm 5 years old taking all these things. And I wanted to do them, but it came a point where my mom and dad were like, all right, you need to focus on one thing, because it's a lot. We had church on Wednesday, church on Sunday, school during the day. And then, 4 nights a week, I was at some other sport thing. And so I cut out baseball and karate and followed through with soccer for, I think, spring and summer. And I think that's totally fine as parents to have real conversations with your kids when they're old, especially when they're older, to be like, hey, you're doing like 3-4 different things. We need to peel back a little bit. I think that's all right, because you don't want to forsake intentional moments as a family just to do another activity. I feel like sometimes we can just want to be busy, you know what I mean? And have things when it's okay to just have a free night.
That's a whole episode,
an unplanned
of
night.
Talking about how you are uncomfortable in peace.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big thing. I've really thought about that a lot in the last few years with my kids when you're talking about the busyness of life, because it was kind of like cool to be like, yeah, I'm busy, I'm doing this, or like, you know, how are you doing? We're doing okay, instead of being like, we're great. Like, it's okay to say that. We're great. But yeah, we need to like unpack that, because that's a big topic.
Yeah.
Well, tune in for our next episode. We're going to talk a little bit more about holidays and kind of some fun things that you can do, maybe that don't cost a lot of money, but just like intentional, fun traditions that you can start with your kids. Thank you so much for listening today. We hope you enjoyed this episode, that you learned something new about yourself, your kids, or God's plan in our parenting. If you like this episode and want to keep up with new episodes, hit the share or like button and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our free parenting resources that can help create peace, routines, and relationships in your home. Just visit cornerstonenashville.org/parent resources. See you next time.